What does success look like to you as an inventor? Well, in this industry, it's measured by what we call the 2% rule. And if you'd like to learn more about what three really important things to consider are if you want to be a 2%er, then stick around. Hi, Lisa Lloyd here with more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you optimize and accelerate your invention licensing business success. If you like what you learn here today, please consider sharing it with your friends or anybody that you think might also benefit from it. And hit that like and subscribe button. It's just all a free way to support me doing this so that I can bring you more content like it. Okay, so what is this 2% rule and where did it come from anyway? Back in the 90s, when the USPTO created the Inventor Protection Act, around that same time, there were a lot of what we would call today loosely scam companies. And unfortunately, that word scam has become so overused. I don't think it's even the right term anymore. But there were predatory companies, marketing companies who bought lists from the USPTO and then would market to those inventors, hey, we can help you get this thing licensed. We can help you. You've already got a patent, but we can help do a 3D prototype. We can do a sell sheet and we'll put you in front of companies. Well, these practices were charging $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and that's where it became predatory because most of the people who they were going after were never ever going to get licensed. Their products, it just wasn't going to happen, which we'll talk more about in a moment. They were not 2%ers. So I believe it was during this time, I don't have any data to support this, that the research was done and the FCC along with USPTO and in uncovering these predatory practices and how to insulate and protect independent inventors from becoming their prey. They stipulated legally and require legally that if you are in the promotion business of helping inventors, then you need to publicly list what percentage of your clients have made at least $1 more than what they spent on getting to that point with their invention before they came to you, including your services. So if they got a patent before they came to you and then you spent another $20,000, so that was $25,000 total, they need to make $25,000 $1 to be a 2%er. Make sense? Okay. So the question becomes, if we're basing that our success on becoming a 2%er and falling into that category at the very least, personally, that's not good enough for me. I don't know about you, but I want to make a lot more than $1. It's definitely fun. I enjoy it, but I'm not going to turn it into a business. I'd rather create a back scratcher just for me to scratch my own itches than scratch everybody's itches for only $1. It's way too much work and not worth it. I want a really nice return on my investment. So what does it take to become a 2%er by my standard, which is a sustainable income, or at the very least something that was worth the investment of, even if I have to keep my day job? There are three things that I want to share with you today. So the first is your product, in order to become a part of the 2%er club, must demonstrate an inarguable value proposition. Something about it that is different enough and meaningfully different to be clear. That customers, and not just a customer and not just even a small constituency, but enough customers based on your benchmark for success. Enough customers are going to earn you enough income that it's worth going through all the trouble of inventing, patenting, and soliciting that product for license. And it can be a lot of work. So depending on your product. So what is the meaningful difference? Well, one of the ways that you can measure that is with this. It's called the value pyramid. This is not something that I created. It's been around for a very long time. And you can learn more about it. I'll put a link to my video on the value pyramid in the description below. Okay, so as you can see here, you have functional value, emotional, life-changing, and social values. So it's a big enough pain, but is it a big enough pain for enough people becomes the question that we need to answer. And I'll put some information and links to other videos that will help you determine that below. Then you have the competitive landscape research. This is taking a quick look at the market and what other products are out there that scratch that itch. What do they sell for? Who's selling them? What price point? So somewhere between doing the consumer insights research and learning what other people experience with the same problem, and then the market research with how companies are currently aiming to solve that problem, in there is your secret sauce. That's your magic space to play and now invent a solution that meets the demands for the consumer in a new, novel, wonderful, exciting, refreshing, less expensive, faster, cheap, whatever it is, way, meaningful value. And then you have the language based on all of that to communicate to the company so that they understand how it gives them a competitive advantage against all the market competition. Make sense? Okay, so that's your product. Moving on. Now you've got the company. Now, the company is important, and a 2%er company is going to be a company that has enough distribution. If you got away with spending $500 on your product and all you need to make is $1,000 a year, then working with a smaller company is fine. But the smaller the company, then the smaller the distribution, which means the less opportunity you have to earn on your invention, right? Makes sense? So the bigger the company, the more earning potential. However, I have learned that if you get into companies that are too big, so you've got the small ones and then you've got these really, really big ones. If they are too big, you get lost in their product mix. You have lawyers that you have to deal with, and lawyers tend to screw the deals up, not make them happen in the best interest of their clients. It's not that they're bad. They're just doing their job and telling you all the bad things that could happen, which is very scary, and people tend to walk away. So we want to work with this sweet spot in between the too small and the too big. And I have found that to be $100 to $500 million in revenue. If you live by rules, you die by rules. That's just a starting place for me. So a little less, a little more, that's fine. And sometimes I'll even break away altogether. But I know with that range of revenue, then you're going to have a big enough distribution, and assuming I've identified the right company who sells to the right people that are the perfect fit for my product, now I have the highest earning potential to not just be a 2%er, but earn the type of income that I expect to make for my products. So you've got your product, meaningful difference. You've got the company being the right company that sells to the right people and has the right amount of distribution to give you the right earning potential to put you in the 2%er bracket. The last one is, you guessed it, I'm guessing, you, the inventor. So as inventors, what makes us a 2%er? You could do everything that I tell you and still fail, and you could break all the rules and still succeed. What? Let me say that again. You could do everything I teach you and still fail, and you could do everything I tell you not to do and still succeed. It causes the game to kind of go tilt. What's the difference? Okay, so here's the difference. I have struggled my whole life with sharing this, and I'm confident if I had a room of wonderful people who have also been through this journey and been successful, they would be nodding in agreement with me right now. And we all have experienced the imposter syndrome, and this is where imposter syndrome comes from. Sometimes it's so easy we can't even explain why, and it flew in the face of everything everybody else said that you're supposed to do. And it also begs the question, if that's true, then why do you even bother teaching all of this stuff, right? Okay, so here's why. You know the quote, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity? That's this magical area that we're talking about. We want to learn whatever we have a capacity for and the ability to and access to learn. It's our responsibility, not to mention it's fun learning. Learn the steps, do the steps, but trust your gut along the way. Because you, by definition, as a creator, as an inventor, as somebody who's bringing something brand new into the world, are asking people to do things a new way, which means that there will be parts of it that the old way will work, but it's going to break at some point. And so it's up to you as the inventor to hold very tightly in your head and in your heart, to the point of your feeling it and experiencing it, the outcome, the dream, the 2%er. What does being a 2%er look like for you? When you know that and you hold tightly to it, those feelings actually will guide you intuitively. And your outcome will be dictated, your steps will be dictated by the outcome that you desire. If you like what you learned today, please share this video. Like I said, it's a free way to support me doing this. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, dare to dream and imagine what's possible when powered by innovation.